close. Any other big issue you wanted to quickly?
I guess I'll have to say this because it's something that I've been following in a very heart-heavy way for about the last year. We're coming to the sort of the very sad, whimpering end of the UN's inquiry into war crimes in Sri Lanka. I kind of got interested in this when I went May 2009. Yeah. I went there with the Security Council. The Secretary General visited, and again, without the Tamil Tigers were a terrible group, but there were 40,000. I believe that's the numbers in the tens of thousands civilians killed in the spring of 2009. The UN said it would investigate it. Sri Lanka is a real stickler on sovereignty. It turns out there's some kind of murky history between Ban Ki-moon and Sri Lanka because they had a candidate for Secretary General that dropped out. Anyway, it's been just a comedy of errors in which they haven't been able to even go to the country and do the investigation. They're not actually investigating what happened, but only reporting on the Sri Lanka's own accountability mechanism, and even that they cannot get done, and they can't sort of tell a straight story. They claim that there wasn't a meeting. Then I went and went as a photographer, as a photo op, and there was the meeting, and there was Ban Ki-moon shaking hands with this guy called Shavendra Silva, who was widely described as the general who killed all those people, and he was inside the UN, in the third floor of the North Lawn, shaking hands with the Secretary General, whose own chief of staff is accused of luring, surrendering Tamil Tiger leaders to their ultimate demise, shot by the government. I actually think in covering the UN, it's the worst thing that I've seen because it's not just inaction and ineffectuality. It's sort of like, at least on paper, it looks like the chief of staff of the Secretary General was, conspired or was used to lure people surrendering with white flags to their death. So this is an issue that I keep thinking like sort of the story's going to be over and I'll sort of write not my final piece, but on that. And it just goes on and gets worse. So that's my rant for the day.
Okay, I'll have to leave.